altered version of the tax laws that differed from the versions lawmakers had passed. In its preliminary findings signed by Honorable Victor Ogene, the Minority Caucus Committee said the comparison of the certified true copies released by the House with the gazetted versions already in circulation confirmed the allegation raised by Dasuki. The committee noted that the directive to align the Act with the federal government's printing press was a clear indication that there were procedural anomalies in the previously gazetted version that illegally encroached on the core mandate of the National Assembly. Subsequently, the committee requested an extension of time to conduct a more thorough examination of the matter, while thanking the caucus leadership for finding the worthy of the assignment. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, has deployed the newly sworn-in Commissioner, Pastor Ademola Adenrito, to the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. Speaking shortly after administering the oath of office held at the executive chambers of the Governor's office, Agodi Secretariat, Ibadan, Governor Makinde openly acknowledged that while efforts have been made in the ministry and results achieved over the years, many of the desired outcomes have remained unmet. The governor said the new posting was deliberate and urgent, stressing that environmental challenges in the state requires renewed energy, clarity of purpose, and firm leadership.
He didn't send anybody to me. When I made the announcement, he had it on the news. I did not consult with him because I know his capacity. You can write your name in gold in Oyo State when you have the privilege to serve. It's an opportunity to let people know that you're fit for that leadership position.
Addressing journalists after the brief ceremony, Honorable Ademola Adenrito said his approach would go beyond the narrow focus on waste management, which he acknowledged was often the most visible environmental concern to the public.
Is what we've been seeing over time in the environment, in waste management, climate action, environment protection, and several other things like that, is trying to sharpen our axe. Now we're ready to cut it down. And all the things that you've not seen that we've been doing in the background, it's time to show it to the whole world, and then we'll begin to see the things that all the people want to see.
The event had in attendance the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Barrister Bayo Lawal, Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Mohammed Fadeyi, amongst others. The Chairman of the Oyo State Fire Services Agency, Mr. Maruf Akinwande, has announced that the state recorded about 246 cases of fire incidents in the just concluded year 2025. Mr. Akinwande, who is also the Special Advisor to Governor Seyi Makinde on fire reforms, disclosed this today while speaking with journalists in Ibadan, the state capital, noting that 42 people were rescued alive, while a total of 30 bodies were recovered from different locations across the state, providing further details on the impact of the incidents across different sectors. The chairman said residential buildings, shops and vehicles were among the most affected. The fire service boss also commended the media for its support in public sensitization, therefore advising members of the public to always be conscious of their environment, urging them to take all necessary precautions to avoid fire incidents. The Chief Imam of Agidigbo FM, Alhaji Zakaria Yunus Baba, has emphasized the importance of living diligently by giving out charity and be of good character. While delivering the Juma sermon today at Agidigbo FM Central Mosque, Imam Yunus mentioned how good behavior is essential and the benefit of being of good character as each distinctive characters that portray a good personal behavior and how it adds values to one's purpose.
To be a man of good character, that's what we are talking about today. Every Muslim, everybody, even not irrespective of your religion, should be a person of a good character. That's what all the religion teaches us, that we should be a person of a good character. When somebody is a good character, has a good character, definitely the person must be a virtuous attributes. He must possess that act. This he must be a person of honesty, a person that always says the truth, a person of humility, kindness. So likewise, a person of character of high integrity also should be able to have respect for others. You respect the elders, you respect the younger ones, you respect your mates. You be a person of that shows the person has is of high integrity in the society.
Alhaji Yunus also made known how charity, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, can make one see God's mercy without hardship. The chief imam further advised Muslims to seek God's intervention by being of good neighbors towards others in either their workplace, homes, or when in midst of different tribes and nations. Members of the Fusengbua ruling house of Ijebu-Ode today took to the streets of Ijebu-Ode metropolis to register their displeasure over an alleged plan to impose a candidate on the family in the ongoing selection process for the next Awujale of Ijebu land. The family members who started the protest from a roundabout walked through Awujale Palace and to the Secretariat of Ijebu-Ode local government, where they were received by the local government chairman, Honorable Daria Lebiosho. Speaking on behalf of the ruling house, Mrs. Adejugba Obileye said the protest aimed to demand the reopening of the palace and to urge the government to stay clear of any imposition plot. Mr. Obileye stated that the ruling house next in line to fill the vacant stool, and the kingmakers were already following traditional and legal processes to select the best candidate, while emphasizing that the Awujale stool is sacred and should not be sacrificed for political or pecuniary considerations. And now we shall be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Agidingbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Folashade Familusi. The first asylum seekers in the United Kingdom have been moved into a formerly military site in East Sussex, the Home Office has confirmed. The government said the move was part of its mission to end the use of expensive hotels. It was reported 27 men seeking asylum have arrived at the Crowborough training camp, which will eventually be scaled up to house more than 500 migrants. United Kingdom Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood said she will bring forward site after site until every asylum hotel is closed and returned to local communities, as more than 400 hotels were open under the last government at a cost of £9 million a day, according to the Home Office. The United States has completed its withdrawal from the World Health Organization. The United States Department of Health and Human Services said on Thursday, finalizing a long-standing goal of President Donald Trump. Trump tried to leave World Health Organization during his first term, then gave notice through an executive order on the first day of his second term that the United States would leave the organization. It was reported by law the United States would give World Health Organization a one-year notice and pay all outstanding fees before its departure. The United States still owes World Health Organization roughly $260 million, but legal experts said the United States is likely to pay up and the World Health Organization has little recourse. That's the news from Agidingbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Folashade Familusi.
We shall also be moving to our foreign states for more foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat Studio. Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya. Russian, Ukrainian, and U.S. negotiators will hold talks in the United Arab Emirates later in what officials say will be the first meeting attended by all three countries since Moscow launched its full-scale invasion nearly 4 years ago. The Kremlin confirmed Russian officials would attend the talks following a meeting between President Vladimir Putin and U.S. envoys in Moscow. Russia described the talks as useful in every respect, but said a long-term peace deal could not be reached until territorial issues had been resolved. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he regarded the Abu Dhabi talks as a step, hopefully, towards ending the war. Travel disruptions, power outages, and frigid temperatures are expected to affect 150 million Americans on Friday and through the weekend as a massive storm cobblers the U.S. with heavy snow and freezing rain from the Central Plains to the East Coast, according to the National Weather Service. The storm, which could impact nearly half of the country's population, will bring up to 20 inches of snow in the Appalachians and West Virginia mountains, while people living in the eastern U.S. could face dangerous sleet or frozen roads and potential power outages from ice-laden trees and branches falling and snapping power lines. Governors in several U.S. states, including Arkansas, Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, have declared state of emergency, allowing emergency officials, including National Guard troops, to begin mobilizing response efforts. And that ends the news from Kuleamzat Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya.
Welcome back now to the exciting world of sport. Teenager Iva Jovic sent two-time Grand Slam finalist Jasmine Paolini crashing out of the Australian Open on Friday with the 7th seed, the biggest scalp of the young American's burgeoning career. The 18-year-old was undoubted against the Italian, storming home 6-2, 7-6 to make the last 16 at the major for the first time. She will play Kazakhstan's Yulia Putintseva for a place in the quarterfinals. A victory followed fellow teenager Czech qualifier Nikola Batunkova, upsetting Swiss 10th seed Belinda Bencic on Thursday. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. Reps Committee confirms alterations of Nigeria's tax laws. Oyo Fire Service chairman says state recorded 246 fire incidents in 2025. Trump administration completes United States split from the World Health Organization. Russia, Ukraine, United States to hold trilateral talks in Abu Dhabi. Teenager Jovic dumps 7th seed Paolini out of Australian Open. Don't forget that you can listen to us live on our website www.agidigbo887fm.com. You can also download our mobile app on the Google Play Store and iOS. Simply search for Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Follow us on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, on Twitter and Instagram at Agidigbo 887 FM, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have news, stories and tips for us, contact our newsroom on 070-8714-4865 or send us a mail on newsroom@agidigbo887fm.com. Welcome back, and before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. Never limit yourself because of others' limited imagination. Never limit others because of your own limited imagination. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowale Akinbode. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out-of-school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
The Southwest in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7